What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today in this video we're going to be once again talking about Destiny 2. So rounding up a bunch of things that have been popping up recently, mainly news and bits of info that have come out from IGN and Bungie and various other sources as well. So if you didn't already know, today was actually Bungie Day, the 7th of the 7th month. Obviously, Bungie is a massive thing for the number 7, so every year, today is Bungie Day, and they basically do a little celebration, and it's more of an internal thing for their studio. They posted a blog post with some really cool images, a bunch of 4K backgrounds that you can use for wallpapers. They also talked about a bunch of other stuff as well, just kind of talking about the year as a whole, the community, the games, and kind of what they're thankful for. Now, one of the images they posted that definitely caught my eye was a very cool one of Titan. It was actually a skybox, a very, very high resolution 4K image, and you can see a lot inside this picture. The main thing that caught my eye was the image of Saturn. You can see in the background there, of course, this Titan is a moon of Saturn, so it orbits it. But something really cool is that inside the rings of Saturn, you can still see that massive kind of hole, the Oryx blue inside the rings, which is really, really cool. So every time in Destiny 2, when you're on Titan, you can look up and see Saturn, you'll see a little hole blown inside the rings, which is really cool to see. Now, something pretty strange is that you can't exactly see the Dreadnaught inside the ring. You can see a small glint of light, but you can't exactly make out where the Dreadnaught is. So maybe it's gone, maybe it's disappeared, maybe it's been taken somewhere. Obviously, Oryx is dead, it's just an empty ship now, but we're not exactly sure what's happened to the Dreadnaught, if it's still there, just empty, and it's very dark and you can't see it, or whether something's actually happened to it, and we're going to get told in Destiny 2 why exactly the Dreadnaught is no longer inside that Saturn ring. Now, also as a fun fact, you can actually see Titan this whole time from the Dreadnaught itself. If you go to Oryx's throne room, in the corner you can see a very small little white moon, and that is actually Titan. We can see it the whole time, and also when you fly into the Dreadnaught, you can see the same moon. That's actually Titan right there, but now in Destiny 2 it's going to be the reverse, and we're actually on Titan, and instead we can look out and see Saturn, and maybe the Dreadnaught if it's there or not, but who knows. That's definitely a mystery for now. So moving on, let's discuss what IGN have brought up today in their latest article. It was basically their impressions and thoughts after playing Destiny 2. So I'm going to read off one really cool quote they explained when they kind of explored Nessus and some things they found. They said, "You'll discover pieces of lore peppered throughout the worlds. For example, while exploring Nessus, we were given a side quest from Failsafe, who is the AI of Nessus if you didn't know, to locate recordings left by early explorers. They describe their struggles after a crash landing and give us a peek at the early struggles that humanity endured in Destiny as they ventured out into the unknown. It was a fantastic example of how Bungie is blending in the narrative into the world instead of through Grimoire cards to be deciphered on your mobile app or website." So I guess that's an example of IGN actually experiencing the story in-game. Now, we also got a very, very quick but also interesting tease about something happening in Crucible. So they described how flashpoints are a new event for PvE, which you already know about, of course. They're like a nightfall that appears in one location each week. But in Crucible, there's also a new event, and this one is called Call to Arms, and they didn't give any details. They said they're going to reveal it at a later date, so they're not going to spoil it for now, but that is all they said. There is a new event in Crucible called Call to Arms. We have no idea what level this could be, whether it's like an Iron Banner style event that happens for a week, or whether it's like a monthly thing, where it's like a targeted playlist or map, gives you more rewards, but there you go. Call to Arms is going to be a new Crucible-themed event. Now, talking more about Crucible, they said some pretty big announcements, and that is that control has actually been changed slightly. It's going to be revamped. So they said the new control feels much faster paced, but still familiar with the tweaks they've made, retaining some moments like those epic multi-kills you loved from the original version, more on July 10th. So July 10th is going to be when they're revealing and showing off the brand new control mode. That's also going to be showing off a brand new Crucible map as well, because it's going to be designed for it. And then we also know from IGN on the 13th there's going to be another PvP reveal. Not sure what that's going to be. But then on the 25th there's going to be a third PvP reveal. And this is when they're revealing the brand new mode. And apparently playing this mode had them smiling ear to ear. So it's very mysterious what this mode could be. Now, initially I thought this mode is going to be something like Capture the Flag, because it makes sense for competitive. But hearing them describing it saying smiling ear to ear kind of makes me think it may be more of a fun mode or a playful mode as opposed to being like a serious Capture the Flag. I can't really imagine them playing CTF and just like smiling ear to ear. It doesn't really make sense. So I'm thinking possibly this could be some kind of arcade mode or like a gun game as opposed to something serious like Capture the Flag. But either way, we're going to find out on the 25th. So next up, let's talk about perk rolls and also weapon mods. So this is a pretty big topic that came out while I was at GuardianCon. I didn't get a chance to mention it in a video, but as always, I want to give you guys my thoughts and also get your thoughts in the comment section. It's a pretty polarizing and controversial topic. I'm assuming most of you guys already heard about this, so I won't spend too much time explaining it. But if you didn't hear, Bungie said weapons in Destiny 2 are going to have fixed perks, so no more randomization, no more farming for god rolls, all weapons are set. So a lot of people have been asking me my thoughts on this. What do I think it's going to mean for the end game and farming? So honestly, I think the main thing that's necessary for this to work out is there has to be loads and loads of weapons. I mean a lot more than Destiny 1, because there are going to be some that have average perks and we're going to instantly throw them out, and it really limits the amount of viable weapons that you can basically use at any one time. So like in Destiny 1, for example, I'm constantly getting weapons that aren't really the best and I wouldn't really go for, but you might get god roll perks in them and I'd use them just for that. Like a scout rifle, loads of them I've got like Outlaw Firefly on. I would never use the weapons because they're not really that great, but because I got these randomly dropped god rolls and these cool perks on it, I would now use it. So it kind of like makes the weapon useful to me, as opposed to just never picking up the weapon ever. But in Destiny 2, if these weapons are fixed and the bad ones, nobody's going to use them. So there needs to be a lot of guns and a lot of variety for people to actually pick and choose them. And most of the weapons need to have good perks in the first place. Like imagine if there's a weapon that has Guerrilla Fighter and Underdog. Nobody is going to use that weapon ever. It's basically pointless that gun existing in the first place. So it needs to be mostly decent weapons, decent perks. Otherwise, everyone's just going to go straight for the Palindrome and the Ice Lunar of Destiny 2, whatever those are going to be. So that is my main thought. There needs to be a lot of variety, but I do think Bungie are, of course, aware of this, and no doubt they've got a plan for it. Now, even though weapon rolls might be fixed, I can almost guarantee there is still going to be some kind of randomness, because we do know there are going to be weapon mods. So by that name, we know it's going to be something affecting the weapon. A mod is going to modify something, so it isn't just going to be some kind of visual customization. So I think what they're going to do is have the basic weapons, and the mods are going to be the main thing you grind for that kind of modify the weapon, as the name suggests, so you can add stability or a range mod and make something into a god roll. But like I said, it's very interesting and also quite controversial too. I was obviously a massive fan of the god roll grind. Like the Imago loop had me playing and grinding for so long, so I'm really hoping there is something to chase. Whatever it is, there needs to be something that the hardcore players can grind for, something that's worth it and is also a good weapon, like a god roll Ice Lunar, for example, because otherwise hardcore players aren't going to find the depth and they're just going to quit the game. So there needs to be something to really farm for and really want to kind of chase, that carrot on the stick, and hopefully Bungie will kind of figure out some way to implement that. But like I said, I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. They know how to make a very addicting and also grindy game, so we'll have to see how it works out. As always, let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think about no more weapon randomization perks? Of course, if you enjoyed the video, a like rating would be much appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next one.